From Hollywood and the four corners of the world, you asked for it. Starring Rich Little, here's the star of You Asked For It, Rich Little.
Thank you, and welcome to the only show on television that goes anywhere in the world just because you asked for it. Tonight from India, a bizarre swing made out of human beings. From Japan, monkeys who conquered a village. From Italy, a race where Madonnas compete, and much more. First up tonight, a swing made of living flesh. People all over the world worship in different ways. Some pray standing up, some pray on their knees, and others subject themselves to painful rituals. Well, in India, penitents who seek spiritual cleansing perform bizarre rites on themselves. Jack Smith tells us about this unusual practice. Luann Quartermoose of Owensboro, Kentucky, you asked for it.
Every July, 500,000 Hindus make a pilgrimage to the town of Kartagrama to honor the god Kartikeya. In a special ritual of penance, many of the pilgrims pierce their skin with needles and spikes. To purify body and soul, all the pilgrims will bathe in the holy water of the Menak Ganga River. Some pilgrims will roll in the dust for hours. Eventually, the lucky ones will feel their bodies have been fully possessed by Kartikeya. Of central importance to the Hindu religion is the belief in reincarnation. The rituals of pain and mortification of the flesh are endured in the belief that they guarantee the next life will be far better than this one. Some penitents have helpers to sustain them along the way. And in the crowd, they have many admirers who believe their self-inflicted pain raises the penitent to the level of intermediary between man and the gods. Among all the penitents, though, one man stands out. He has prepared himself for months to undergo a great and painful sacrifice. His body is to be suspended like a swing from rows of hooks which penetrate his skin. Through this purifying agony, the faithful believe he will reach a higher plane in his next life, and even in this one, he may act as a conduit to the gods. For months, this man's life has been nothing more than preparation for this moment of ordeal. For the past 2 weeks, he has eaten nothing. He has taken no drugs. He has drunk only water. He begins the ordeal in a state approaching perfect purity. If pain has a purifying power, then this man's agony is also his triumph. To the crowd, he is, for the moment, superhuman. He is in touch with the other world, a world which holds forth the promise of a better life to follow. This is a glimpse of a world far different from our own, because you asked for it.
The ritual we have just seen is painful and dangerous. But to the people of India, it is a ceremony of great spiritual significance. We are privileged to show you a way of life rarely glimpsed by the outside world. Next up on You Asked For It, some apes make monkeys out of people in a Japanese village. We'll be back.
And now back to Rich Little.
We've all had problems with our TV reception from time to time, but this Japanese family had a new kind of interference. Monkeys on the roof. In fact, the entire village is having trouble with monkeys because the little pests have moved in and taken over a town. Now, we get the whole saga of this invasion from Tony Thomas. Karen Campbell of Hope, Arkansas, You Asked For It.
Monkeys and civilization don't mix. The people of Shirahama Spa discovered this after they decided it would help the tourist business to have monkeys roaming the town. They got 10 monkeys. There are now 100 monkeys, and nothing the people do can stop the destruction. The monkeys, like a demolition crew, swarm over the 8 houses set apart from the town. They work together in gang fashion, and while those on the roof distract the woman, an accomplice sneaks in to steal some food. At first, noise scared them away, but now they're bolder and smarter. They laugh at such tricks. But the people of Shirahama Spa aren't laughing. Not here in what has become known as Monkey Valley. The marauders don't even stop at night, as this family discovered while watching television. When the picture goes out, the reason is obvious. It would be easy to exterminate the monkeys, but the people vetoed that idea. They feel a moral responsibility because they brought the animals to the village. They could, of course, cage the monkeys. But it's the people who are caged. And even that doesn't help. 7 of the 8 families in Monkey Valley have simply abandoned their homes. The monkeys have won. And you saw it because you asked for it.
Every effort to get rid of those monkeys has failed because every time the exterminators come in, the apes make monkeys out of them. A lot of people have been going ape over Jack Smith and his nostalgic pieces from the past. Jack, what do you got for us tonight?
Thank you, Rich. We're going to see a segment filmed at the Grand Circus of Moscow, one of the biggest and best in the world. Now, back in the 1950s, it was almost unknown in the United States. At the height of the Cold War between the United States and Russia, we presented a glimpse of life in the Soviet Union that showed the Russians as people who enjoyed a good time as much as we do. And we also showed a very exciting and spectacular Russian circus act. So now, the grand entrance of the Moscow Circus. Only one ring here. The attention of the spectators is centered on one act at all times. There's always a capacity audience, too, and in a moment, you'll see why. Ringmaster Varlamov takes his bow, and the show begins. One of the heart-stopping highlights of the Moscow Circus, an astonishing balancing act by the Milayevs. It's no easy trick just supporting a ladder with your feet, but the anchorman here will support his two partners while they also perform in amazing style above. One man climbs the ladder while the other does a handstand on his head, and that's just for starters. Now it's a head-to-head stand, arms outstretched. Still head-to-head, they take the long way down. Another climb up the ladder. With his feet alone, he'll spin the ladder. Now, watch this. The Milayevs have still more thrills to come. A platform now at the top of the ladder, and there they'll add another ladder to the act. And here comes the third man, as his partner takes his position on the high platform. The second ladder is up, balanced on the feet just like the one below him. You asked for it.
You know, that reminds me, I used to know a guy in the circus once who did a head-to-head stand like that. Gosh, it was terrible what happened to him, though.
What did happen?
Well, he had to retire. You know, one night he panicked and lost his head.
Which one?
Coming up next, a race where the participants are Madonnas.
Now back to Rich Little.
Well, this is Walter Cronkite. The big news about this program is that it all depends on you. We challenge you to challenge us. Dare us to bring you anything and everything you want to see from anywhere in the 20th century or any other century for that matter. Write to, you asked for it, P.O. Box 1980, Hollywood, California, 90028. Religious processions are supposed to be quiet, solemn affairs, right? Well, in Gubbio, Italy, they do things a little different. In the Race of the Saints, teams of villagers carry heavy wooden religious figures over a torturous, grueling course. Now, this annual event combines the piety of a religious pageant with the thrills and excitement of a horse race. Jack Smith tells us about Italy's annual Race of the Madonnas. And Marcia Gagliardi of Mariposa, California, you asked for it.
Each year in Gubbio, Italy, there's a strange celebration which combines religion and foot racing. This unlikely combination begins in an unearthly setting. The Basilica of St. Ubaldo, where the saint's mummified body still lies. It is here that the sacred and the sport first meet. As the town looks on, the young men of Gubbio carry out 3 wood structures called the Cherry from the basilica. This marks the first stage of a race between the men and the saints they represent: Saint Antonio, Saint Giorgio, and Saint Ubaldo, the town's patron saint. Sitting astride the Cherry and dressed in colors symbolic of their saints, the youngest supporters are carried down the hill to Gubbio. Swarming through the streets, the crowd stops at a church to obtain the 3 doll-like replicas of the saints. Later, they'll be attached to the Cherry. Once seen as a celebration for the coming of spring, the race is now one of religious ritual. Finally, the 3 teams of carriers, or Cerioli, emerge from the palace of the council. To the cheers of the crowd, they maneuver the Cherry to the town square. But before they can race, they still must wait for the figures of the saints to be attached and for the great bell of Gubbio to sound. With the signal of the bell's sharp ring, the Cherry are promptly raised, and so begins this wild race through the narrow streets of Gubbio. But ultimately, all the sound and fury of this competition is meaningless, for the competitors know the outcome. Tradition demands that Saint Ubaldo take first position, Saint Giorgio second, and Saint Antonio third. And today, as in the past, the contest will end that way. Though the order is predetermined and the element of surprise non-existent, the commitment and passion of the participants is always maintained. Saint Ubaldo has won again, and the doors to the basilica will be shut on his rivals. Of course, they will try again next year with renewed vigor and enthusiasm, and of course, they will lose. The moral to this paradox? Never bet against a saint named Ubaldo, especially in the town of Gubbio. You asked for it.
That looks like a rowdy, all-out race, but it's more than that. It's also a joyous celebration of an important religious festival and one of the many diverse ways people worship around the world. And you saw it because you asked for it.
We'll be right back with more of Rich Little and You Asked For It. And now back to Rich Little.
Some of these letters are too much. Listen to this one from Molly Gonring of Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin. Dear You Asked For It, this is what I want to do. No, this is what I want you to do, or whatever, if you can. When will a leaning tower of Pisa fall from leaning too far? Well, we went right to the highest authority in the land, Desiree Goyette, and found out it will fall when they add too much pepperoni. We'll see you next time on You Asked For It. Good night, everybody.
This is John Harlan speaking. You Asked For It is a Sandy Frank production.